right. Hello. Um, yep. Alrighty. Welcome back to noise reduction series. Um, but yeah, we're on the 50 millimeter f4 2000 ISO. I'm not auto wide balance because I just can't be bothered. But I did at a young yellow filtering. Why did I do so? Eh, different look. I don't know. Tomatoes. But we're gonna be editing a lot, so sit tight, get a snack. I'm gonna get a meal really, and we're just gonna go over the noise reduction shooting, my testings, um just like because like I think I've seen some videos about DxO. Um, yeah, it's been about a year. Why haven't they posted stuff on it? So I have to do stuff, I guess. I don't know. This is not the most scientific review, right? But this is just me using the software, the noise reduction software. So let's have at it. All right. As we can see, let's go on the computer. As we can see, we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 20 images. This was done roughly. Mm, uh, yeah, this was also done on the 20 millimeter A9III, of course. And this was during the sunset timing. So I try to get as much. It's not sunset 100%, but it's during that when the sun is going down. I couldn't do exactly sunset because I ran out of battery. So that's another story. So I shot like on these staircases. I shot like maybe like 2,000 something photos. I only kept these ones that I liked. I mean, I have some other ones anyway, but dude, for the noise reduction process composite, we're just only going to do 20 images and just like how do I cull it when I think I like these images? You might be wondering, why the heck is he taking photos of stairs? Well, the shadows were really dramatic, and I think there's always a lot of cool photos of stairs, right? Like you can do nice portraits with like to show off shoes, to show off the clothing, to show off a model. So staircases are always, a good spot. And in particular, I chose in this kind of angle because this is 20 millimeter, so very extremely wide. I do not use the lens compensation thing because I prefer, this is my preference. I enjoy the lens distortions and stuff, right? Because I think each lens has their own version of it. So I'm playing into it. Of course, in post, you can always fix it, but I like that it keeps the middle really, really tiny, and then it really, really enlarges the wider parts of it. So, and then of course we have some fails. They're not really fails, you know. It's just artistic stuff. Scientists wouldn't get artistic stuff if it literally bit them in the foot, right? So let's get into it. Um, we'll go over the settings first. I'm also using my left hand, so bear with me because I'm a righty, but I'm eating with my right hand, snacking on it. So as you can see in the images, first one is 2.8, 30 a second, or no, 30 a second, f22, 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 140, 22, 500 second, 22, 1,000, 80,000, 16,000, 2,500, 5,000, 5,000, 2,500, 1,600, 20,000, 320, 30-second, 30th, 320th, 125th. And they're all ISO 2000 because I think on the picture profile I did S-Log3 picture profile because it just, I don't know, it's noise reduction thing. So you're gonna get rid of your noise anyway. Well, you'll see some of them whatever the sensors like Bayer crap, whatever it's called, you know, but you can always like fix the noise in post. Again, this is through Sony's imaging editing, but for different scenarios, you want different shutter speeds, right? With this camera in particular, um, it's you can go 80 thousandths of a second for certain lenses, of course. I don't know. Sony's got to fix it, make it 20, 80 thousandths of a second and 16 thousandths a second. I see it. It depends on the connectors. I understand, but they can all shoot 20 thousandths a second if possible, right? It's just some firmware update. Come on, paid 6,000 for this. You know, let these cinema lovers, you know, go 80 thousandths a second. Anyway, let's go to the editing. So might be wondering, oh yeah, you might be wondering, why is there so much, the white balance is so off? Well, there's an art thing. The white balance, what is white? A color that we cannot see, that is the entire spectrum. So anyway, let's go to edit. So I think just for the sake of it, make it easier on everybody, I like to change everything to the preset. So hopefully my computer doesn't slow down, because you know when you edit like 100 photos and edit, your computer starts chugging, you know, and you know there's like you get some what are they called? The computer cannot process ARW5. Oh, that's a bright one. But yeah, you'll see I chose these shutter timings because of a certain look, a certain thing. And of course, you could always keep the white balance as is, right? Like, no one's stopping you to. With your artistic, creative journey and how you shoot portraits, or just shooting pictures in general. You know, this is just a paintbrush, so learn to stroke it. Funny jokes, right? Um, yeah, that was so corny. Man, I'm loving these tomatoes at Costco. I just love eating like raw ingredients. Organic, of course, too. I think, is that all? Yeah. Okay. So the first one was 30th a second. Okay. So this is like gonna be your normal photo, as in you took the photo of something, and yeah, you just want to see the setting, right? This is like perfect photo. As best you can get the noise, really. You can still see some lines in the rear of the wall. And then, oh yeah, all the focusing was on the stairs of where a model would be. So I didn't focus all the way at the end. I focused somewhere in the staircases, somewhere in the middle, really, because I think if you have a model, you wanna. I should have taken photo of myself, but I didn't bring my flash with me. I'll get to the other parts anyway. But in the middle portion, that's kind of where you want because that'll be the most narrow in the lens compensation part if you don't do lens compensation. So the image will make it will appear to be thinner, smaller, more shrunken. And then if you go on the sides, it gets really wide. So again, this is the auto preset. Like this is what the camera thinks where it should have been, right? Mm, but as you can see, I mean, it's like just your average photo. You want to make the shadows really pop. Turn the brightness down all the way. Maybe like a little bit up, not all the way. It looks much nicer. The shadows are more dramatic. But again, this is just an image with no people in it. If you want, looks very green, of course. Too warm, too cold. Let's just go to, the regular preset. Mm, the highlights don't really change for some reason. I don't know why. Mm, in this case, I would bring the black all the way down because, again, it just makes the shadows more dramatic. And then you would have your person in the middle. Hopefully, in like perfectly lit up, of course. Um, you could oversaturate if you want, really, because this is a very very gray image, so it could work. The colors palette is like yellow, gray, and then red. So if I was a model, particularly, I would go something like sun-kissed yellow, I think. Um, and then dark colored features. It's hard to imagine, really, right? Until you have a model, but that's essentially what I would use. So it doesn't like fight the image color palette. Again, color palette is gray, manila, white, cream colored, hints of blue because of the window. And then, yeah, although you can see here the distortion is kind of a little too much, but it looks too weird. But anyway, that's like the whole point is that you use the lens distortion and you make the image more dramatic because it feels like it's tightening in, right? Movies do that a lot where they like stretch and then they'll de-stretch something to make stuff more dramatic. But again, this is just this is just an image without that stuff. You can add clarity if you want. Tell you what, I hate using clarity. Like right now, my face looks too. I'm not even using a Sony lens, and my face looks so ugly. So yeah, and I chose f22 because I want everything in thing in focus. I don't care about diffraction. I don't. People are too freaking anal about that. I just want to shoot the image, get the image in it, image in the frame. Um, yeah, I turn off noise reduction for this stuff. I like the chromatic aberration, of course. Hmm. But yeah, essentially, that is kind of what I would do to this image. If it has no model, of course. Now, this is a very, very bright image. Hmm. Let's turn it down all the way. This one would be your ordinary, oh, can I take a photo here type of thing. Where, um, essentially, like, this is the proper exposure that you should shoot if you want a plain, boring photo. Um, Turn down the brightness all the way because obviously it's too much. Mm, can I go blacks all the way? Yeah. That. Turn up the saturation, of course. Ooh, the saturation does not look nice on the reds. Yeah, as you can see, you lose a lot of detail in the back. So a lot of detail is lost. It could be my picture profile, but yeah, a lot of details are lost. So I mean, it doesn't matter if you know. But again, this is like if you just want proper exposure, like technically proper exposure. So yeah, you can see all the staircase stuff. Look at all these little grit. Don't know what cement stuff. I have no idea what. I'm not a staircase builder, but yeah, essentially that's like your average boring shot. Same thing again, average boring shot. This picture profile, super clear already. As shot, super clear. You can see oh no, this one I think I used the like standard, like the creative style thing. Hmm. Let's see. So here you can actually make it. Ooh, I really like this. So this empties the. Not empty. Sorry. But yeah, this really like blocks off what is not in focus really, like what has no clarity. So again, you can have the model, and then you can like the portions that are I guess boring, but yeah, you can't really see the reds in this. So here you can wear something that's red colored clothing. I think this would be very nice. But yeah, these are the settings. I use like those creative look settings. So in case you want to look at that stuff, you could. Let's see if you can up the derange optimizer. Does that do anything much? No, it does not do much. It's trying to see if it like just a more interesting look. The white dots look a little more apparent in the auto. Um, Saturation all the way, really. Clarity all the way. Noise reduction off. Turn off the chromatic aberration. But yeah, I do like the color casting of the of See, I think this is how you properly use the chromatic aberration blue, in the sense that you can make it look artsy. Because sometimes the chromatic aberration, like, it falls apart, and I've seen it. Um, I'm not an expert, of course. I'm just giving my opinion of how I edit an image. Because, for example, if you go too deep, you can see here, the color kind of falls apart in the black. And luckily, I think you get away with black color issues because it's the color black. So it really depends on your monitor and stuff like that, and your TV screen, whatever, your phone, because your camera, or not your camera, your viewing device will see it unless you use one of those dorky screens that just sees it how the editor made it. Your phone, your TV, your monitor will try to it'll try to really fix that the blacks and the whites of a color in an image or video, and it'll just try to process it how it thinks it should, meaning that it'll fill it in, right? So you don't have to worry too much about black and white colors because, like, technically we just can't see it. Like, even our cameras can't see it, right? You gotta turn on the, you gotta take off the infrared, whatever stuff. That's what I mean. Like, oh yeah, this is of course lit by the sun. Um, Plenty of light, of course. Going, it's going top down, up. So really good lighting. So you can get some really, really dramatic shadows. I know, right? You gotta have your water bottle on deck. Big old water. But yeah, the whole point is that when you do the chromatic aberration, you gotta study kind of how it looks like. So take a lot of photos with really vintage lenses because they are very, very apparent for chromatic aberration. Because again, these lenses were made for colored film, right? So everyone always knew that there's going to be some color casting of color aberrations. It like fitted into the photo, like it made it more characteristic. Because unless you're shooting professional work, you don't really care about chromatic aberration because you can't really pixel peep film unless you pay like a few $100s to have like a 20-foot billboard, you know what I mean? So again, like, this is like harder to like. It's easier if you use a vintage lens. So if you want to have like a natural chromatic aberration look, it's much easier to use a vintage lens. I don't know why people want to put it in post and then use. I just don't get it. People just don't study photos, I guess. But if you want the most natural looking chromatic aberration, you need to use a vintage lens. There's nothing about it because there's less coatings, there's less glass element thingies, there's less. They just didn't put the signs behind it because they weren't too worried too much because they're busy worrying about making a nice lens. And of course, modern today, they kind of got rid of chromatic aberration. Unless you really, 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 really push your camera. or your lens. But yeah, um, again for this image, I would the model wearing red. But yeah, all right for this. You may think, oh, what? This is an error for an image. No, I wanted to create really, really dark shadows. You can see here, the shadows are very gray. Shadows are extremely gray, blue, gray. You know, they're all gray, blue. This is more of a dark blue. And you gotta, like I said, you have to play into with the lighting that you have. Over here you can see dark blue, blue, gray chromatic aberration. Like I said, you gotta play into it so you can see the sheen of it. You see the window. You can see the gradation of color is blue all the way to the up until the fencing, and then it over here it's very dark gray and black shadows, and then you can't see the staircase at all, but you can see that the way the composition works is that there's like a triangle rhombus thing over here, triangle rhombus thing over there. The staircase, see, the staircase descends into the darkness, into the abyss. So it fits there, I think. And then, now this is how you turn ordinary images extraordinary, give it character, really. Again, this is just my style of editing, so it's whatever. But if you were to block it off and you were to just shade, I think when you take photos, you have to think of it in a painter mindset. So, like, if there's a painter, the painter will see the scene and what they want to be, right? I painted so that the scene is very, very dark. So the only thing lit is the ones being casted for the shadow. So if you were to color paint, um, so essentially you got to make the base color, right? When you put the I forgot what the paint is called, but like you have to make the base color of the gouache or whatever, and then you color over that, right? So this you would be actually using black all the way. This would be black, blue, sky blue. This right here would be also black all the way. And then here would be white, gray, cream, blue over here on the right side, with yellow. Same thing with this fencing thing too, yellow as well. But again, it's all about the gradations you can see. So you would do a gradient palette all the way into the black. So now you have like, I could make a visual of it, but then that requires me to do graphic design. I don't know if the effort is worth that much. Cause you can kind of see it already, right? If you were to squint, just imagine the color paint like that. A lot of photography, you have to imagine the color scheme, right? Again, I'm doing this every day, right? I'm trying to train my eye so that I see these color settings in my eyeballs, my brain. So, but yeah, I think this would go really well if you have um uh the color cast on this subject model has to be blue, so it would be a blue flash, uh and blue to so black blue and then white blue on the other side, like the gradation of the blue flash. And this is on 80 thousandths of a second. So you can fire up that flash, you know, you can whip out that $50 Minolta flash because it's totally possible with this. You know, that's what a lot of reviewers aren't posting about this camera. They're not posting that you can use um here, let me go get it actually. I gotta go whip out my flash. Alrighty. Who remembers the days of the AA battery when those existed? But essentially, let's see if I can let's see if I can get the audio to play because yeah, but this is your Minolta 5600 AHS 5600 HSD flash. I bought this off eBay for like 50 something dollars. And then I bought like you have to buy the 20 something dollar shoe mount that Sony still sells, of course. And so for a $70 flash, you can shoot 80 thousandths of a second. Will they tell you this on the Sony manuals or whatever? No. They and then you gotta buy a Godox or Westcott. I don't know. You want to buy some more new crap that isn't actually that good. You get some. You can turn it around if you want. Side. The world is your oyster, right? So you get some cool vintage lenses, etc. Nice, good old Minolta. But yeah, you essentially, hopefully you can see like that. But yeah, and then you can even have the test flash like that, right? Ooh, hopefully it's not too bright. But yeah, and then this one you can even program it to shoot many times at once, right? It's too damn bright for me. Anyway, the whole point is that you shoot 80 thousandths of a second. You get this flash in. It can only go. Well, some lenses can't, like the 20 millimeter lens can go 16 thousandths a second. The other one can go 80 thousandths a second. Again, I don't know. I don't make the rules. 16 thousandths a second with yeah the flash or something. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a scientist, right? Remember, I'm just using gear that I like. Um, but yeah, it and then of course you can have an off flash, like you have an assistant to do the flash for you, right? 80 thousandths a second, 32 shots. You can go. The power is 132 of a second, or 1 out of 32 power. If you want, you can go full power. You can even do 1 hertz or whatever. And then the zooms. I think this goes up to 85. Yeah, up to 85. So 24 to 85. When you put the 20 millimeter on with the adapter, it actually becomes a 23 because of the barrel is just a little bit longer. So because it's from the distance of the sensor. But yeah, you clip this on and voila, you get yourself a nice thing. Or if you want to do the times flash, you can do the craziness of it. So I think select. Yeah, this one I think you can go. Yeah, 40 or 50? No. Yeah, you can go 40. So you can go 40 on this. 41 hertz, 32th of a power. Trust me, you don't need to go far faster than that. And then if you time it correctly, it'll just sync into the photos anyway on the 32 seconds of the shot. But yeah, the only so I think this gear is actually gonna go up. So if I were you, I'd be stocking up on the Minolta lenses because it's still cheaper than your damn Sony lenses, your Sony flashes. So for 70 bucks, I think this is the top of the line Minolta flash, if I'm not wrong, back in the day. So yeah, I think once people catch on, this flash is actually gonna go up in value like a lot because they're not making it anymore, and there's like some hidden stuff about it that I'm not gonna go over because y'all don't deserve it. But yeah, this for this scene, um, because the blackout, and you have to imagine again because I'm not gonna shoot it for you. But yeah, you can light up the face of just the person. Like I said, I would use like a blue sock over it, or like a blue balloon, light blue balloon, of course, and then shoot through it. Um, you want to cover the flash, this part with a balloon. Don't be like an idiot and get some colored paper and tape it. You're gonna keep things simple. It's like it wows me that people just haven't taken like an art 101 class. Like that's why when you go to art school, I didn't even go to art school. I graduated with a computer information systems. But you have to use your brain a bit. And in art school, they purposely put you through all of the types of art mediums because they all are relevant in the sense, right? There would be no photography, there were no paper, right? So maybe watch like a bunch of documentaries of like your typical artists. Um, your all the artists are relevant in the art world, so if there's like Baroque or the Impressionism or something, just watch the timeline, watch some boring history, before you go to sleep, watch it. Maybe your brain will absorb it through osmosis, but just get the basic downs of just like all the artists of our time, at least the ones recorded, of course, that people have made documentaries and stuff about them. There's of course so many different art styles. You got your Asian, African, your Mesoamerican art. Usually it's just European art that is well documented. But you should just focus on the artists that use color. Um, there's things to learn from black and white, charcoal and stuff, but I think that's more so learning shadows and whatnot. But yeah, again, these type of images you want to use the oh man, the image is gonna load a bit. But yeah, you can see you can pull up the shadows again, blacks it out. But yeah, you can see there's a lot of noise. The noise multiplies, of course, if you turn off the noise reduction a bit. But yeah, as you can see, let's lower this back to normal. Let's see how much we can get away with turning it bright before. I mean, you can kind of see it in the casting here. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's even more dramatic. But yeah, you can see the sky, whatever. the shadow is very, very gray. But yeah, maybe I could turn this down one more stop of brightness. Maybe two. Because I just like the shadows in this. Again, you edit however you want it. This is how I edit it. But yeah, use a flash. And then, yeah, shoot away, of course. I think these are the same, really. I think the only thing I did tweak was like, let's see what. The red is less apparent in this image. So the red noise is less apparent in this one. This was shot at thousandths of a second, f22, ISO 2000. Okay, that was 500. Okay, the third one is 80 thousandths a second. See what 80 thousandths a second? Oh, it looks just like it was black all the way. You can see it gets really soft because of the diffraction stuff. Wait, is this 2.8 though? I think I shot this at 2.8, yeah. Yeah, 2.8, yeah. I shot this at 2.8, so yeah, because you can't really shoot 22 and 80 thousandths a second unless you're shooting to the sun. I've tried shooting at the sun. I do have some images of that. Maybe I'll go for that some other time. But yeah, the focus is over here, I want to say. Yeah. So it's really up close. So yeah, you can have a person's face in it. I don't know. Or something, anyway. But yeah, you want to shoot really fast. Again, I think it can only be achieved with that Hasselblad camera to shoot more than 400th or 500th of a second with flash. So, yeah. But again, that doesn't have the noise common. I think these are all 80 thousandths a second, but yeah, the whole point is that you can shoot flash with the high shutter timing. Only be done on the Sony A9III. Here we have some more. You can see it's more clear on the red stuff. For this, it's very, 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 very white colored. Maybe I just go one stop down. Maybe two. Yeah, maybe two. Maybe three. Not two. Two is nice. So two stops down. Was this 2.8? Whoops. 2,500. 2,500. Yeah, so this is 2,500. Shutter timing. And then a bunch of like whatever creative look outset or picture profile. I forgot which. But yeah, this one I think you would go deep blue. Deep blue for this. So the model is wearing deep blue. Maybe ocean blue, I'd say. Yeah, I think ocean blue. This very flat. I think I was like yeah, I think I would up the contrast a bit for this. I think I'll bring down the shadows. And then let's keep it at white zeros. Bring down the black. Of course though the shadows don't look as dramatic, but it's a different look, of course. And then yeah, so I go down twice. And maybe once. What would the D range? Let's see. Nah. I think I would go 100 saturation actually. Cause then you get you get green shadows, blue, gray stairs, yellow, green, blown out highlights. Again, I'm just, and then you get hints of red, of course. I don't know, it's very copperish, very copperish tone right there. Noise reduction off, chromatic off. But yeah, I think this one's like multicolored one. So you got your green palette, your yellow cream, your blue gray, and your green yellow. This one, maybe someone's holding a flower or something, like a yellow flower. No, not yellow flower. Maybe like something orange. Like they're holding some oranges or something. I don't know. Holding a donut. Orange donut. I have no idea. But yeah, again, this is like just me just looking when you're playing with the color. I think the shadows, yeah. But you can see it's like mint green. But yeah. Ombre orange over here, of course. But yeah, I think that's just how I would think. So the person wears something very, very orange, or they're holding a flower that's super nice and green. This one is gray again. Let's see. Let's see. Again, this is just me editing images that looked like a fail to some, but I think, it's just different looks. Just another different look. This one's more green. Ooh, ew. I do not like that. It's very green. Yeah, dropping the shadows, I guess, on this. Um, I don't like the when colors like break, but yeah, you can see you got purplish shadows. So this one, I think I would go purple, purple red. So the person is wearing something that's purplish reddish, maybe like purple copper. Um, so something purple with copper highlights, copper accents, copper accents. It's hard to say. And this video is getting super long, but this is like an editing portion, so you're watching this to learn, I guess, about editing colors or something. But yeah, you can see that the rear is really, really washed out now. But it's like a gray washed out instead of a gray green washout instead of a black washed out. But I think I prefer the black washed out because yeah, this one you'll see a lot of like coloring breaking. So you can see that purple is breaking it. But it could be fixed with color correct maybe. So yeah, maybe like that would work. Again, you're painting a mood. Some people like to paint what you see is what you get, but that's boring. So yeah, that's what I would go. Purple pink. Maybe just once, maybe two steps, because then it looks more purposeful, right? Like if you if you want to recolor, then you gotta go all the way. Like you gotta make it like look extremely obvious with the coloring. Mm, would I up? And yeah, this one you would have to shoot in flash again. A lot of these images where you're bringing a bunch of mood or color casting or whatever, you want to use flash. This very gray as well. I think I upped the white there. Uh, Dab the shadows there. Gray. Saturate all the way. Do that, do that. Turn that off. I don't really mess with these things. I mean, you could, but I don't know. It's not that fun. Because that one is like you barely see anything different. And then this. So gray, green, black, light blue, cream, yellow, gray, green, blue, gray, blue, purple. So I think you're wearing red for this, or ambered orange colored. I think would work well here. Yeah. And you can see, I mean, again, this is just my preferences of what kind of edits I would do. And then this, I think this is like plain again. But we'll see. Look, let's. And so these look very similar, but you can see the shadows are. Let's put that correct. Yeah, the colors look very similar. But in this one, yeah, so the blue, if you shoot in the blue white balance, this one was shot with the blue purplish white balance. This was shot on the green yellow white balance. What does the info say? Uh, oh, this one's on 0. Was it just on the? Yeah, I think it was just okay. This one was the blue, super blue. This is not. But you can see in the rear back here, you can capture more of the details, especially right here. So you can see in the shadow rear as well. Okay, let's go to preset. So here we can see that you can capture more of the red because it's less shadow is casting. You may think, oh, that was just the shadow casting of the time, but no, because these are all the way in the rear. So what does that mean? You have to, for this, if you want a brighter scene, as in you have too much light, you want to go for the bluish white balance and then correct it post. But if you want it to be a dark colored, like have more shadows involved, then you want to be on the normal to the warmer colors. But of course, you don't want to push it too much. As you can see, look, it's pushed a lot. But here it's not. You see the color breaks much smaller. Compare contrast. It's a little bit, but those little bits add up. So this is the brightness all the way down. This is the brightness all the way down, of course, too. So if you were to, let's say, up the contrast to make it disappear, we went to 90 for that. I think this might be 90, no, 70 cease. This is also 90, but I think if you were to choose and you can't really tell these apart, you would want to go with the second. No, you want to go to the first one if you want to have the blacks more pronounced, and then the second one with the 2000 white balance if you want the white and gray part to be pronounced. That again is just how you want to like recolor when you preset shooting the shadows. So again, if you're taking a photo of something and you want to make the shadows more pronounced towards a white backdrop, a white wall or something, shoot it in blue. If not, shoot it in regular white balance or red. If you want to have the darker parts of the shadows to be more deeper in color, right? The black levels and stuff like that. I don't know. But yeah, I think these are just another gray. Let's see what. Let's bring it all the way down. So you can see this one that the colors break easily though. You can see the waves of the shadow casting thing. If you want to correct it, might make it more apparent though. But again, this could be, I don't know, you don't really see it, but it can bring a different mood. But yeah, this one's like more purplish, pinkish. What's too much? But yeah, this is purplish pinkish. I would be wearing, I think again copper colored. Yeah, something like amber copper colored for this image in particular. Hmm, clarity. I always like bringing clarity up because something about sometimes it's just very gritty looking. Again, this is also not even photoshopped yet, right? I'm just developing the color. To the days of developing. I like commenting on people's videos that are people exploring and understanding film because I think that's where it's got to be because then it trains your brain to like just know what it forces yourself to see in the camera settings without taking the shot yet, right? Because if you don't, then you're wasting so much money in film. Trust me, you're wasting so much money and time, really. Time is the biggest part about that. Like, I'm not in high school anymore. I don't have that much time to develop film all day, you know? I literally was skipping class to develop film, right? So, if you have the time, sure. But even if you're a billionaire, I still think you wouldn't want to do it anymore, too. Even if you have all that time. Because it just, unless you want to shoot those exclusive fun film, like right now the whole big topic is infrared film. I don't know. We'll let the trends die off because I guess they're trying to sell. They're trying to give more reasons to sell maybe broken, censored cameras, digital cameras. Let people eat. You know, I don't know, have their fun. It is interesting to look at infrared, but you can just yeah. I don't know. That's everyone has fun. However, they have fun with film and photography in general. But anyway, just like that, you can have fun with the development process of color film. Still recording. This is about a 59-minute. Yeah, it's gonna be a 1 hour shot. So, what did we learn today? We learned how the noise reduction software, when you stack it and stuff, you can get some cool different looks, layers, etc. Um, will most people prefer this? I don't know, but it's just a different way to shoot. It's just a new way to shoot. And again, because it's not film, you can just take millions of photos. Like I said, I don't know how I took thousands of photos on this day until my camera died. So, and this is way more fun. Trust me, this is way more fun than this is way more fun. Trust me. You don't want to go back to the days when you're developing film all day, you're sitting in the dark room, and you gotta do the contact sheet, and then you gotta do the color sheet, you gotta do the exposure sheet, and you got. I'm not making bookmarks, you know what I mean? So yeah, again, I hope I gave some good tips about even if the lighting is bad, work with the lighting because I think I like the challenge of trying to shoot. How can I use my current lighting to shoot in a more fun way? Um, and these are all different looks too. So, I guess if you have nowhere to start, you can just, I don't know, these are looks. So you can shoot the same model and you can have like 10 different looks. That's uh that's an album right there. 10 different songs, I have no idea. But yeah, I hope they learned about stuff. If not, the only thing you should learn about is go buy yourself a Minolta 5600 HSD because I think it's the only Minolta lens that is extremely compatible. I think there's a few things that it isn't compatible with, but yeah, these just you had A9III. I highly suggest getting this flash because yeah, your DX your Dingus XO is not gonna be posting all the information sheets about all these hidden and secret things about owning a Sony camera with uh, Minolta beginnings. So yeah, again, hopefully that was informative. Whatever you learn, if not, just watch it. I don't care. I thought I gave some free good knowledge. I'm not telling you to go buy gear. I'm just telling you how to edit your photos, how to shoot the photo from the beginning. At the photo shoot. At the photo shoot, you should always shoot many different settings. Okay. You should always shoot many different settings, different exposures, different white balances, so you can give more of a range of what you can get. And if the photo doesn't work, just don't use that one then, because you took a million. Usually you shoot the first shot or second shot with the A9III is usually the best. Like, yeah, like trust me, nowadays I just shoot the one like it only takes me one or two shots to get the actual proper image. It it'll push you to be more creative, I think. I think that's where people are like so bored. They're like, "Oh, the image is so perfect without even trying." So I got to go back to film and then I got to go take a digicam or some ordinary camera. No, just be more creative with it. This is a paintbrush. Learn to paint using different colors, using different strokes, different positions. So, yeah, I had fun, even though there's nobody in the shot. But again, you can imagine how it would look. And then maybe, you have the foot in the front of the frame to really make the wideness of it so you have it on the side. Maybe you put it at the spot where the distortion occurs a lot with the lines. So maybe up here on the left without blocking the window, of course. But yeah, I keep saying this, but hopefully you learn stuff. I had fun editing and just showing off the colors, and yeah, you can You can shoot some good photos with, I mean, this was decent lighting, not gonna lie. But you can shoot photos of the mundane and make it more extra exciting. This is just now what's missing in this photo, the model. Maybe I'll do noise reduction thing with models because I haven't seen that many of them. I don't think I've seen any of them really. This camera's been out for like 8 9 months, and I'm just like it's like so bizarre that no one's like made a video on it. It truly is like that time. Anyway, Camilla.